Okay, welcome to part 2. Actually, it's part 3, but I didn't record part 1, so this can be part 2 now. Of how do you donate £1 million British pounds to the homeless in Hong Kong? No, he didn't win anything. Serious scope time, yes. So for those that don't know, and you're watching on the replay, we are talking about, and I'm fundraising for £1 million British pounds while I'm in Hong Kong. I have to use pounds because Gofundme doesn't work in Hong Kong, so I have to send all the money to the UK. Hi, hello again. And so I'm raising £1 million, and I'm up to 675, I think 675 British pounds. And what my plan is, just to recap, but although part 1 is on my YouTube channel at JonathanJK.com, is part 1 discussed basically that we shouldn't discriminate. Okay? Hi Katrina, we shouldn't discriminate. And so that was basically the end of, we talked about some stories, and it was about 50-minute scope, and we talked about not discriminating because there are people here who are begging, and they're from mainland China. Now, I'm talking about beggars, I'm talking about homeless people, talking about cardboard ladies. There are various types of poor people, but a lot of them are homeless, but then many of them are not. And today we're going to talk about some people that I met, and I wasn't allowed to scope the first time, but I have some scopes coming up to deal with this topic, okay? Because I'm using Hong Kong homeless as like a catch-all, and we established in the first episode that I recorded that we shouldn't discriminate. And so now, okay Chad, and now, see you later. And now I got in contact with a food kitchen. She was very helpful, and they make food for people who are living on the breadline. So we have to broaden our idea of what is homeless. Morning, John Ho. We have to broaden our idea of the homeless, because some of the poor people in Hong Kong only get about like 2,000, 3,000 Hong Kong dollars of the government, and they're in a situation where they either have to pay the rent, or they have to eat. And so there are some organizations here in Hong Kong who try to make those choices much easier for these people. So what's happening is that they're trying to help them so they don't become homeless. And someone like the cardboard lady that we joke about and we share scopes over, she is one of those people who have basically tried who are given money by the Hong Kong government, and it's a very small sum with which to subside on, but they want more money. So this is what cardboard lady, does it look like I'm watching the Super Bowl? No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl. How about that? How about that? I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl. I don't watch sports. And we're talking about the Hong Kong homeless here. So go and watch it yourself, okay? I'm in Hong Kong. I don't give a fuck. American sports is not all that, bro. I know it's an egg. Anyway, she is somebody who has decided to say, well, I want more money. And yeah, and I just want fucking something other than hearts, John. I don't care. Hi, Kathy. So anyway, so she has decided that she wants more money, and so she collects cardboard for a living, okay, in order to better herself, or to just to have more money, so she doesn't have to make a choice between paying her rent or going without food. And so a lot of these people that I saw are making that choice by collecting cardboard, and some don't, and they just live on old housing estates, okay? So I went to one last week. Went to an old housing estate with Ria. I met a lady called Locusai Learn. This is her business card, and it's all in Chinese. I can show John Ho because he can read that, and probably anybody else on the replay. So there we go. So I met her, and she's a consultant for the Against Elderly Abuse of Hong Kong. And what's going to happen is that on the 28th, and it is on my Periscope schedule, So if you go down to Sunday the 28th of February, the last day of the first lunar month, dinner for the homeless with the Against Elderly Abuse of Hong Kong. The time needs to be confirmed, but it's a big dinner, and it's to obviously welcome all these people into a situation. Right, just go to a restaurant dinner basically, and enjoy the food that's been given to them via charitable donations. Now, I haven't given them any money. Okay, I'll tell you. I will obviously tell you when I've given somebody some money, or you'll see it on Periscope. But I just made a connection through Simple Kitchen. Simple Kitchen operates out of a courthouse about 15 minutes away, that way, near Prince Edward. Okay, off I think it's on Argyle Street, and so I've got 4 scopes planned. SB50 is the Super Bowl Mac. I've got 4 scopes planned. 3 with Simple Kitchen and 1 that dinner I've just mentioned. So I mentioned the dinner. Okay. With Simple Kitchen, I'm going to scope how they make the food. And I talked to them for about an hour. I don't know, Thomas, and stop talking about the Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm just not. Clearly, I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. I don't care. I just want the hearts to look different. Okay. So we're going to scope making the food, and who and why. We'll speak to Jodie and get an interview from her. The second one is we're going to scope them delivering it, and then maybe it's a 2-parter, but then we'll show them how they deliver it. Okay. And the way they deliver food is that when they go to an estate, everybody has these like tickets, and the social workers have given out the tickets to everybody who's eligible. And Soup Bowl, that's right, Disciple Paul. And so there's no cheating. People can't just randomly walk up, even if they're like genuinely homeless, which I don't agree with, but I understand their logic, because if they've made 50 packets and 50 people are supposed to receive those packets, then one person goes short, then, right, someone's out of luck. And anyway, they target areas in Hong Kong, these small estates or old estates for old people, and then they line up and then they just give them the food. I talked to Jodie, just talking about like the cost of the packaging, the economics of the packaging. I wanted to just pick their brain on some of these aspects, because like, for example, they use a lot of styrofoam, and I'm very environmentally conscious as well, so I'm wondering like if money is given to them, what are they doing with the packaging? Are they thinking about that? And they said they are, but the thing is, the worst type of packaging is also the cheapest, and it's the best at insulating the food. All the environmentally friendly ones are shit, but they're more expensive. And so they're in a situation where they can't. They would probably like to buy environmentally sound packaging, but they can't. So they're buying packaging. But that's one of my issues that I have with trying to like look after people, or I try to do it in an economically sound, holistic way. For example, like Hong Kong, the city or the area itself, the people collectively throw 1 million plastic bottles away every day. That's 7 million plastic bottles a week, 28 million bottles a month, 365 million bottles a year. And it's just like, look at all that fucking waste. If it was biodegradable, the world would be a better place. And we actually have landfills here in Hong Kong that are going to reach a point where they just can't accept new shit, and now they're building incinerators, so you get to burn it, and that adds to the smog. And it's like, great, thank you, Hong Kong, that's great. So Cheng Chau, that island where I met Robert and interviewed Robert, they're going to have an incinerator built because they got so much garbage here. But if they switch to environmentally biodegradable products, which are more expensive, but then what's the cost of incinerator, and then shipping all the shit to the incinerator? Anyway, that's a totally different conversation. But you can see, like, I've thought about this. So anyway, we've got 4 scopes. And what I'm doing with this scope is to let people know that the money that's raised, these 4 scopes hopefully will raise awareness and more money will be brought into this. But at the same time, people might think, hang on, they're not homeless. And I want this to go on record that, yes, I know they're not homeless, but we're helping them so they don't become homeless, because they're not given enough money to pay the rent and eat on a weekly basis. This is why these organizations are there, so that the people can be helped and we don't have more homeless on the street. Okay, so this defining homeless is something that's very black and white. Isn't black and white. It's becoming a grayer issue. But I'm not going to give like a shitload of money to them. I feel like we should like share it out amongst the different organizations. At the same time, by doing that, you're promoting different organizations. Hopefully people in Hong Kong are watching, okay, because, well, Hong Kong people should be doing most of the legwork, and they are. And I've told the organization, like, they should get on Periscope and Periscope their efforts and create more content from Hong Kong. Okay, so these people that we're going to speak to again, and I am telling you because I just want your thoughts on the matter, basically. And then I've got my pen and I'll be able to write them down. But I'm done. I just wanted to explain it. And I'm also protecting myself in the future in case someone says, well, they're not homeless. I'm going to donate, my friend. Gofundme. I should always write it. I don't fucking write it down, do I? Gofundme. Here we go. Let's have a look. GoFundMe.com/Hong Kong homeless. No, not homeless. Homeless. Whoa, you blocked Kaiser? Damn. Kaiser is one of my patrons as well, John. There we go. No, I didn't say GoFundMe. Fucking hell. There. I don't want someone to just drop the link in. I want you to see it. It's easy to type. I just typed it on my iPad. I blocked 10 people yesterday. I've been blocking like 4 or 5 sex bots today. There we go. I just typed it in hongkonghomeless.com/JonathanJK. Okay, and I'm up to 667 British pounds. Okay, there's a little bit of blurb, and then you can see actually who's been donating as well. So shout outs to Pete, shout out to Anonymous. That could be anybody. That could have been John Ho. Could have been Penguin 6. Could have even been Brie Olsen. I'll never know. Actually, you'll never know. I know who donated. Kathy Myers, another Anonymous, but I know who that one was. Jerry Valvano, Cesar Gonzalez, Timothy Anderson ×2, another Anonymous, Stephen Stupak. Who else? Are you going to load? It's not loading the rest of them. It's not it's not loading. But the other ones are, I do know off the top of my head, Mandy Moo and Kaiser. Kaiser's been donating like 12 British pounds each time I scope a homeless person, and he'll do it up to the value of well, he'll just do it 10 times basically. Okay, I can't get past the first page, but basically those are the people on the first page. Okay, there's a great quote here by Cesar Gonzalez: no one has ever become poor by giving. There you go. And Case is in the chat, or Cesar Gonzalez. Okay, so I'm assuming like no one's talking back, so everyone's fine with this plan, and I'm going to scope these 4 scopes. Making the food by Simple Kitchen, so it's a different organisation. Delivering the food with Simple Kitchen, handing it out, and then we've got a dinner which is already planned on the 28th. But that is phase 2. So I've jumped ahead, and we haven't done phase 1 yet, which is with Christy. So I need to remind myself to contact Christy. I'm listening and clicking hearts. Sounds good what you're doing. Thank you very much, Mary. So I've skipped ahead. Okay. If you don't have anything to say, that's fine. But I want this as a record, and I'll put it on my YouTube. Okay. Thank you for the Super Bowls and the fists. And the refrigerators and the hearts. No? Okay, this is going to be a very short scope then, if you haven't got anything to say. It seems like you agree. I'm saying silence is golden, so you're agreeing with me. And you're okay with this this definition of homeless being loosened up, so that we prevent more people from making these stupid choices, because the government, even though they run a surplus, are not helping homeless people. Who am I donating? You're donating the money to me. And I'm making these scopes and recording them, and obviously everything's sort of like what's the word? Not checked or verified. That's it. Verified. Yeah. I'm a Hong Kong scoper, so I live and work in Hong Kong, and I'm trying to do some good with my following. Yeah, John. I think you should be more responsible. If you've got like 8,000, close to 10,000 follows, you've got to start doing, you know, responsible shit with your audience. And for the medium, trying to elevate the topic of discussion or elevate the quality of the scopes on Periscope. John's another Hong Kong Periscoper. He feels the same way. The quality of scope should get better. You should mention that wealthy regions suffer more due to lack of government programs. That's very true. That's very true. Hong Kong is like super rich. There's more the poverty gap between rich and the poor is at its highest in Hong Kong than anywhere else in the world. Okay, and if you don't follow Peter and you do, I mean, I'll point out Maseratis, I'll point out Teslas, I'll point out sports cars in every single street scope. Okay, we can just it's like shooting fish in a barrel, and yet alongside those Maseratis and Teslas are people picking shit off the ground. Cardboard. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm using shit as a euphemism. I should elevate and use a wider vocabulary. But they're picking cardboard off the floor, and it's like, okay. I can't listen to text, but I know what you're trying to say. I know there'll always be rich and poor people, but there doesn't have to be. There doesn't have to be. And this is an exercise in showing that people care and can help. Yes, what does what? Yes, it does what? Sorry, you have to give me the context. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm waiting for Pete to type to give me the context. I've lost what he's saying. He's talking about it has to do with those philosophy. Well, you know, there is a Confucius philosophy where you're supposed to look after the old people, but these people are not following the ideas of Confucius, which is supposed to be a big deal over here. Right? And I don't subscribe, Peter, to this idea that because they're begging, they're a secret millionaire or they're working for the triads. So what if they do? They're not sitting out there for fun with an arm missing or a broken leg. Some people are not driven as some of the rich people. You know what? There's a great quote by Martin Senna. I don't know what you're saying, signature. Sorry. Where is it? There's a great quote by Martin Senna. I need to find it again. Maybe I can't find it. Stop it. Sorry, give me a minute. I need to delete loads of shit from my Periscope and my Twitter. Fuck it. I can't see it here. I've replied to too many people. But basically, Ayrton Senna said that poor people those who don't have money will have strong intentions to aim it somewhere, and those who have all the money don't aim it. I'm butchering his quote. I'm very sorry, Ayrton Senna. God rest his soul. Fuck it, I can't find it, but you know what I'm trying to say. We have ambitions as people who don't have the money. I would. People say, you know, if I had £1 million, what would you do with it? Obviously, I'd donate half of it to somebody else. I don't need £1 million. Okay. That's it then. I haven't got anything else to say until these scopes are done, and then we can all touch base with each other. I've talked to a lot of lower income. I've talked to a lot of low. Most of them don't care. Less driven. About what? About what, Peter? So, okay, and so what are you trying to say? If they don't care, are you trying to say that if they don't care, we shouldn't care? We don't live with our parents, have 3 generations under one roof anymore. Yeah, there's that as well. They tell me they're stuck but not taking action to prove themselves. But would they, Peter? Did you ask them if somebody was helping them, would they take action? I'm pretty liberal-minded, so okay. Some people don't care. I don't understand it. I've tried to myself. Okay. Yeah, but Peter has said that he's tried. He's saying he's tried. So what? How do you feel, Peter? How do you feel when someone says they don't care? And do they not care because they just want to die, or they don't want to play the game that we're all playing when it comes to modern society? Yeah, but most likely, Theo, they're shit jobs, like picking up cardboard. That's the thing. And then there's a minimum wage as well. By the way, Peter, I'm not an expert on this topic. I'm just learning as I go. These people have not watched a lot of Batman because, you know, this is the reason why we fall down, in order to pick ourselves back up. I'm trying to make light of this topic, but the intention is sincere. How old are they? Are they young people? Are they old people? Old people are going to be, I feel, a little bit more cynical. Whoa. I can agree, Joe-san. I can agree, but Peter is obviously showing that, you know, he's not trolling. Peter has good intentions, and he's tried to help these people. So how do you feel generally then? How do you feel about me trying to do this? Minimum wage is like $5 US. So I know you're new, Peter, and I'm not criticizing you at all. How do you feel about me doing this? You have no skin in the game. I'm not going to block you. You can give me an honest, you know, critiquing opinion. You know, well, the donation, the effort, the time that I'm spending. How do you feel? How do you feel about myself as an individual trying to help these people? No, but do you think like I'm wasting? Do you think I'm wasting my time based on the people that you've met? Hi, Stanley. Call it quits or something, or I don't know. Black people are kind of privileged. Whoa, that's fucking racist. How are they kind of privileged? First, they've had to endure slavery. Which black people are we talking about, by the way? First, they did slavery. Then they got segregation, and now they just get soft racism. Where is this privilege? Clearly, Stanley. I'm not interested in sports. Doing something's better than doing nothing. Yeah. Yeah, good point. It is about mindset. Now, my problem, Peter, is that I don't speak the local language. Hi, Jen. I don't speak the local language. I am going to hook up with somebody in order to meet people and talk about them live on Periscope and give them like a soft donation and scope it so that people can see what's happening here, and maybe it's a way of like it's a fundraising exercise. They do have to want it themselves, but you know, some it's their choice. It's their choice, but not everyone's the same. Ideally, what I would like to do is I would like to bring a family out away from the poverty line. Me and Rhea were talking about this. Hi, Argentina. Me and Rhea were talking about this on Saturday, and please don't I don't think a lot of you will misunderstand me because you're like the hardcore on this topic. But there's a difference between helping an old person who's like practically homeless and then true. And there's a difference between an old person who's homeless or nearly homeless and then a family, a single parent, say, with a child who are living on the poverty line. And for me, I would rather, I'm not a night owl, I would rather, my preference is to help a family, because for me, there's potential, and this sounds really bad, but I don't want it to be, because with old people, you can't give them new skills because they're really old, or they need medication, or they are physically disabled in some way. Okay, they're just sick, and what you're ending up doing is looking after them, and you can't put them back onto the workforce. So some people can feel like, well, I'd rather help a younger person because there's greater potential for that person to blossom, and then therefore bring something back to society and perpetuate a reason for giving. I'm helping both. I want to help everybody, but I do feel like my efforts, or our efforts, sorry, are going to be more significant on a societal level if we help a family get off this poverty line, get out of this trap, and take less pressure off children. But at the same time, I do want to help the elderly, but knowing that I'm going to help the elderly who are never going to get back into the workforce. That's the thing. So there's not a dead end. That sounds really bad, but there's only so much you can do. There's only so much potential. Yeah. I can't even say that. Philanthropy. I'm a fucking teacher and I can't say it. Yes, Raya, by the way, and for those who don't know, I know Peter doesn't. Raya's my partner, and she's really into helping the old people of Hong Kong, and her mother lives with her, and so her mother doesn't have to worry about the homeless, her mother being homeless, because her mum lives with her. Okay, you understand what I'm saying, okay. So I'm trying to just point out that there are different ways to help, and then there are different results to helping. So these old people are stuck in that situation. All you can do is alleviate them, and hopefully the government will see sense and give them more money so that they can subsist. Is that the word? Subsist on a larger amount, and they don't have to make a choice between food, rent, medicine, bills, or new clothes. I'm more passionate about helping the old. Okay, well, I'm not going to discriminate, but I do feel like I would be achieving more. Personally, I would be achieving more by helping a young family. You should read about the people who have done a lot for humanity. But the idea here is that, yes, there's £1 million, and for those that are new, I'm not going to give £1 million to one organisation. As I said at the beginning of the scope, I want to share the money around so that people understand that there are different organisations. And also, for a place like Hong Kong, how dynamic is it when it comes to people giving money or giving their time? So we can look back on this on YouTube and then see, oh, there was X, Y, Z. Yes, I said Z for the Americans. Yeah, you're right, Mel too. There's these 5 organisations that help the elderly. There's these 15 organisations that directly help the homeless. There are these 20 food cart organisations, whatever. We can build up a profile. Hi. You can build up a profile and understand this is how much work it takes to keep people from not being homeless. I can't get this globally. You do it. I'm not saying that as in accusation. I'm not accusing you. I'm simply saying I can do it. You can do it. I'm nobody. People say many things about me, but I am nobody. I'm just using the base that I have to do better things with it. Accusatory. That's what I'm trying to say. Accusatory. But it's simple. You can do it. I can do it. You just need the trust, basically, and the drive to do it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but that's not just a Chinese issue. Everyone's migrating to cities because there's nothing to do in the villages or in the farms. What time is it? Okay, we're still good for time. Okay, Norm, I get you. Your philosophy is to help one person at a time. Fair enough. I feel like that'd be a good idea. Later on, I've only raised £600. You shouldn't have to justify it's what you want to do if they don't like. I just like to be clear. Yeah, Peter. At first I thought you were trolling, but then You're not. We get some idiots here who just say, fuck it. Yeah, I agree. But you know, your opinion is different. I like it, and it's caused. I was actually going to close the scope before you came in, so thank you, Peter, for your comments, because you created another discussion, something for us to think about. But yeah, I agree. I can agree with John as well. I would like to focus on one family at some point and try and like. So we're talking about, yeah, because. I don't know. No, this is about ego again. It's about ego. I would like to see a success story. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what I would like to, and then people can see like, oh, it feels worth it, rather than an opposite feeling. But anyway, part 3. We'll talk about more of it in part 3. Yeah, jobs are needed. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not talking about helping someone get a job, although that's an idea. But then it's more of my time. That's different. I can see what you're saying. Help them with job CVs and everything. But I don't speak Chinese, so I can't help them with that. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Peter. Yeah, I totally agree. Well, it does feel overwhelming. Yeah, it does. And it does seem like there are more and more homeless and poor people, and that much is true. Clearly the system with which we operate in doesn't work. We can start a factory. Land is very expensive in Hong Kong. Yeah, I'm always thinking about that video you shared with me, John. I like it. I really like it. Or liked it. I shared it on my Twitter. It's a charity video. It's on my Twitter. I'm going to clean up my Twitter. I tried to edit my tweets down, get rid of all the fluff. But basically, the guy was talking about the way we need to think about charities. We need to change the way our perception of charities, because some people say, oh, it should be totally altruistic, and none of the money should go to the support staff. And I used to believe that. You know, if I wanted like £1 or $1, how much of that goes to the staff and how much of it goes to the people? And when I heard sometimes, 70% goes to the staff and only 30% goes to the people, you quite rightly feel outraged. You think, fuck, I'm wasting my money, I'm not going to donate to them. But there is a necessity for some charities, or maybe all the charities, to have running costs, because by allowing them more money, because we think about them as being like, you can only do it on this tiny budget, but by limiting them, we're limiting their help. And their scope could be greater if they were run like a corporation. So when you walk down the street and you see loads of adverts, it's okay for corporations to just consume everything. And it's okay for corporations to just have a budget of their choosing, whether it goes to the staff or goes to the product, goes to the support of that product they're creating. It's totally up to them, and there's no oversight. We don't care. But when it comes to a charity, we care about it, and we oversight too much. And it goes into this example of like, this one charity had like 300 people operating, and then people found out. And then the media obviously say, oh, they've got 300 people, they don't need that many. And they had to cut the staff down to like 30. But his point was, well, imagine the potential of 300 people trying to like reach out and ask people for money, and now you're down to 30 because everybody says, oh, you've got to keep the money for the actual people, not for you. You've now circumcised, or you've cut or kneecapped, whatever the verb you want to use, the euphemism you want to use, you've kneecapped them. And they can't help us much now because we demand oversight, and by doing that, we limit their reach. And it's like, that's not fair. They probably do need a big budget in order to gather more money, and that's not what's being discussed generally by the media. And this TED Talk did. Singapore had a charitable misappropriated donation. Yeah. Well, you know, we generalise and we think, oh, they're all misappropriating donations. And obviously a lot of them are not. How good are the people running the business of doing charity? Well, I'm not making any money from this. If anything, I'm spending time. And I'm just trying to, yeah. So for me, this is all time. But in the process, I am creating content. I mean, let's not be naive here. But you should. I should what? 98%. Yeah, that is a bit bullshit. But we have to see why. Why are they spending 98%? Sorry. Hi, Rich. Yes, the TED Talk talks about this as well, and how you kind of want good people. Yeah, if you're making money, but I don't want to make any money. What motivates me, John, actually, and this is why don't want people to be naive about this, is I want people to come to the channel and realize, oh, this person's doing something good. Yes, I'll get a follow out of it. Or yes, I'm trolling if people are saying, oh, you should fucking donate money. It's like, okay, you donate then, okay? Imagine if you're switching full-time to do charity. I wouldn't want to. I don't think I have the passion. But I want to make a point with this Periscope and this series of Periscopes. That's kind of ridiculous, made to. But, I mean, that's not being naive. I will pick up follows for doing this. I'll probably lose follows because people just don't approach this topic in a sensible manner. That is payment as well, yes. People giving me money and trusting me, that's payment. That's a character. Coney guy was on drugs. You know what though? The Coney guy, I feel sorry for him, but the Coney guy went apeshit. He went batshit crazy because of the pressure that he put himself under. And I'm not saying like I'm in that same situation, because clearly I'm not. I'm not masturbating right down nude in front of you, but this is another topic. Maybe I'll do it. I've been meaning to talk about it, but when you get a following, a large following, and you have people's thoughts hitting you in the head, you have different expectations from different people, it can get a bit stressful. And I think he was going a mile a minute, and obviously when he got a bad reaction, and the media blew it up as well, and he got looked at in a very unfair way, he probably just went crazy because he probably thought, hey, to the person, welcome to this very serious scope about donating money to the homeless in Hong Kong. The pressure, we can't imagine what kind of pressure he was under, okay? Because he could be thinking, but my intentions are good, and you're fucking with me, and you're lying about this, or you're exaggerating this, or you're focusing on that. And of course he went crazy, because he can't deal with it, and he can't fight against that sort of tide of digital information that's been spread around the world. And it's just like, fuck. The stress just got to him. Oh, thank you. So the Coney guy, yeah, did go apeshit, but I'm willing to believe like he went apeshit for the wrong reasons, because of the pressure and the judgments that was cast against him. This is one reason why I'm documenting this, and so that if we do get trolls here and someone says, oh, you're going to keep the money, or you're not giving the money, it's like, dude, if you look at my YouTube channel, because most people on social media, and I didn't create this, by the way, so I can't remember who said it, but most people attack on social media, and then they don't ask questions. And I want to try and like not sort of nullify those two. That's what created this Periscope series in the first place, because I would scope and people would say, oh, you should give them money. And it's like, but I do. It's just because I'm showing you, all of a sudden you think you have rights to tell me what to do now. And that's kind of, that paints me in a bad picture if I don't give them money, because now I put myself under the pressure, under the limelight, because people only know what they see, and then they'll judge me from what they see. So in one scope, I did give. In fact, the two scopes I'm going to talk about were one after each other, day-wise. One was on a Wednesday, the next one was on a Thursday. But I was scoping, and I gave like $10 to somebody, and everybody in the scope said, thank you, you're such a great person. And it's like, I felt really shit, because I didn't want that. I don't want to be told I'm a great person. I hate that kind of attention. And then the very next day, I was with Penguin 6, we're talking. But while I was talking, I was scoping, and then I was explaining, like, this poor person is in this situation because, and everybody said, you should give them money. And it's like, fuck. You can't count that those live viewers saw me yesterday giving money, but they don't care. Just feel nothing about it. Why feel shit? I don't know, John. It's just me. It's just me. The Batmobile is there. That was an awkward. And then even with the buskers, if you watch anybody busking, if you watch a busking scope, yeah, I am silly. Of course I am. Of course I'm silly. 10 new features, John. 10 new features. Share this scope right now. We're going to change the topic. 10 new features coming to Periscope. One of them, if you're at the replay, you can now type on replays. And if you type on replays, the comments scroll down in order to differentiate the live comments and the replay comments. Brand new feature coming out. Periscope's going to bring it out. I shit you not. So you can now tap and type to replay viewers all at the same time on the replay. There we go. Must be true. Share it. Share the scope, Mandy. Many people start Gofundme for way less important reasons, John. Thank you, John. What was I saying? So if you watch a busking scope, not just my scopes, you watch any busking scope, someone saying, oh, here's this great person. Even Jeff Goldberg's in this situation. If you, I do want to mention it, John. Hi, Joshua. If you go to any busking scope, everybody guaranteed will say, give that money to the busker. All of a sudden, we're telling the scoper what to do. And shit. If they care so much, people should create GoFundMes and give it. Okay? I'm not confusing the message. People know what I'm doing in this scope. People know what I'm doing. Yeah, so I have to be careful on Periscope. And that's what I'm trying to do with this series. So then I've got a history, a backlog. Right, 29 people in here. Do you know what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm doing? Do you think I'm confusing the message? I drank coffee. Don't lie, Terry. Right. No confusion. Need 29 yeses. No confusion. Everyone knows what I'm doing. You missed everything, Zora. You just missed a vote as well. You're confusing the message. What? No, you're confusing me. Anyway, yeah, she's in late though. She missed the vote. Anyway, I'm not confusing people. What was I saying? So I'm building up a level of legitimacy by creating this scope, and people can watch it. And then everybody in the chat, I've built a history with you, a relationship with you. You're seeing what I'm doing. You've given me money, and then you can say, "Listen, you're trolling. You don't know what you're talking about. Fuck off." Okay, haters are gonna hate. I'm gonna get that, but I can minimize it by producing this history of content and these discussions. If you were just serious, I'd be asleep. Okay. Right then, I have nothing else to say. It's been a good discussion. Thank you, John and Peter, though, for bringing out different viewpoints. Okay, so I'm going to go. Thank you for watching me instead of Super Bowl. Everybody get your wallets, yes please. Hi JK, long time no see, Liverpool here. Hey, Mersey Mark, I do remember you as well. I remember doing a Scouse accent for you, Mersey Mark. Okay, but I've got to go now. Got to try and keep this scope serious. You think John Oliver is a professional, but his humour though is it's a bit blunt. His humour is a bit blunt. Thank you, Chicago Boom. But I'm not. We are doing it. We are helping. We are helping. I don't think it's blunt. If it was blunt, more people would have been less fooled by previous scopes. How can I help? Just share it. If you don't want to give me any money, Zora, just share the scope. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not gonna ask people specifically for help. And the topic is finished. It's just a discussion topic. And I've planned. Thank you for the invite. But I've planned some scopes, Zora. So basically, we've got 4 scopes coming up. One on 28th, which is on my website. I'm just going to summarise for people just jumping in. No. Hong Kong people. I don't know. It's a different topic. Fuck it. Got a scope on the 28th, Zora, where we're going to scope a dinner for the homeless. But there's 3 more scopes where I'm going to meet with Simple Kitchen again. And bye-bye, John. And we're going to scope like how they make the food for the homeless, delivering it and then handing it out, basically. But I'm talking about phase 2 of my donation scopes, and I haven't done phase 1 yet, which is actually going out on the street finding people. Okay, that's it. Let's end it there. It's been 50 minutes again. Damn. They do need bed sheets. But we also talked about, Zora, that some of these people are not actually technically homeless, and so there's a grey area here, because some people we're going to help to prevent them becoming homeless. Hi. I'm wrapping up the scope though. What time is it? You know what? I might do random chats. Fill you in tomorrow. Okay. They are on the edge. I'm on the edge of my seat. Here. Prevention. Yeah, prevention is key. So I need to talk about that and let people know about this grey area. It's not just homeless people. Okay? Bye-bye for now. For the ones who won the book, I'm going to go on iTunes now and generate some codes for the giveaway. Okay? Okay, bye-bye people. Bye-bye Zora. Enjoy the lion dance. Make sure it doesn't bite you. Hopefully you're wearing your glasses and you don't get too close, and you don't find yourself in the lion's mouth. Okay. Thank you, Mercy Mark. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.